that. Brian Kendrick's been training. He's been training some of the divas and shit like that. So he's been training. What's her name? Eva Marie, the redheaded one.
Oh, is he really?
Yeah.
God bless him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that's too little, too late. I mean, do you really want another fucking?
Eva Marie's too little, too late.
Oh, yeah. She's just tits and ass. She doesn't know how to fucking wrestle. She doesn't care to wrestle. She just wants to look pretty.
She's probably. Yeah, I would probably say out of all the divas, she's probably the worst. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she just wants to be their fucking picture girl and stuff like that. And it's like, fuck that. If WWE is even remotely serious about this whole hashtag give divas a chance, then you'd actually put somebody in there that's an actual wrestler. Natalia, Charlotte, somebody. You know?
Yeah.
But fucking Eva Marie is not that. Eva Marie is a diva. And in that sense, that's one thing that I think that... WWE is stuck in this mode right now because they have all of these talents down at NXT, female-wise, like actual female wrestlers, Kev, and they're bringing them into
Banks and Charlotte being the first two. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you can go with Emma and you can go with a few others down there too, but I mean, it's kind of like you have all these talents that can actually wrestle down in NXT, being trained by Ray Gunn down there, and you bring them up here to WWE, and it's almost as if they're told to, or they're expected to dumb down everything that they've learned. Everything that made you special in NXT, everything that made you special as a wrestler, get rid of it. You got to wrestle WWE women's style, which is hair pulling, couple of snapmare suplexes, maybe a clothesline or two. It's horrible. And I'm not saying all the girls are like that, but you know who has to wrestle like that. When you're wrestling Rosa Mendez, you're not going to get a fucking 5-star Charlotte Sasha Banks match. When you're wrestling Summer Rae, and I know she was down in NXT, but Summer Rae is another one that's completely dumbed down her abilities. She has the ability for more, but she's wrestling that WWE women's style, and I use the quote fingers with that. It's fucking depressing.
She's a movie star now.
Well, it's like, WWE's got to fucking pick and choose, man. They either want women wrestlers or they want fucking pretty models. And if they want pretty models, then stop bullshitting everybody into believing that we're going to have actual women wrestlers in there. And if we want women wrestlers...
Well, wait a minute. Wouldn't it be fair to say that during the Sonny Sable time, they had Luna Vachon and they had people who could work, and then they brought in, they had the Terry Runnels, but like you said, they had Luna, and then they had... other people that could work. I mean, they always kind of couldn't they have Eva Marie as eye candy?
As
she
a
doesn't have to
valet?
work. Let her just be a fucking valet for somebody. Like Rosa Mendez can't really work either.
No.
And then have the girls who can work. I mean, why can't they have that? I mean, Sonny and Sable couldn't work, and they were in that mix with women who could work, like Luna.
Oh, Sable, they made Sable work. She was the one, the Sable bomb.
Sable actually got a little bit better towards the second run. She actually wasn't too bad.
I mean, they turned
but Sonny
her into
could never
wrestler.
work. I mean, there was nothing there.
But Sonny was a talker. She was usually sitting in the announce booth, fucking talking shit with people and stuff like that.
Well, that's the problem. Eva Marie can't talk for shit. She's a horrible speaker. That's why I thought that whole rumor with her hosting the Hall of Fame was so stupid.
Right.
I like, who the fuck believed that? I mean, I remember when I was told that, I was like, this is not true. It's true. It's online. I'm like, it's not true. She can't talk. Like, where's her? But she can't even talk on the Divas show.
I know.
She's a bad talker.
Yeah.
And what's her name? They still got that other chick employed, Naomi's old partner. What are they doing with her? She's barely on stuff. You don't even see her anymore.
What, Cameron?
Yeah, Cameron.
Cameron was on there tonight in that Battle Royal.
I didn't see it.
Yeah.
I didn't see that part.
Yeah, she was out there. She got the booty bump, and she dropped out of the ring with Alicia Fox. Yeah.
I only saw when she was cutting a promo towards the end.
Yeah, she's still doing that girl
Naomi.
bye thing. She's another girl that's got to go. Cameron, look, they tried with her. I know she went down to NXT and stuff like that. She's another one that just really seems like she doesn't want to wrestle. She wants to be a diva. And I look, there's fine. I get it. There's eye candy everywhere. People are saying, why can't we have both, Mish? Because I think you can actually find some of these women wrestlers attractive. I think that, girls like Paige are actually attractive. I thought that AJ Lee was attractive to a point, I mean, there are female...
Well, what's who is a very good example of someone who never had to get in the ring. And matter of fact, if anybody could show me different, I'm going to go on record and say I don't believe she ever worked a match.
Miss Elizabeth?
Nancy Sullivan, woman.
I know she did a lot of valet work and stuff like that. And
she did a lot of Fallen Angel with Sullivan Cult in Florida in the early 80s.
She did Texas
From
Hangman.
there,
Texas
she went to
Hangman
be
in the 90s.
Robin Green, if everybody remembers, and seduced the Steiners, if you remember that, and then managed Doom. And then she went to be part of Ric Flair's entourage. She was in ECW with the Sandman.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody ever recall Nancy Sullivan? And find it if you can. I've been a fan of hers for years. I mean, I was more upset when she died than Benoit, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I liked her better. She had more personality. I don't recall her ever wrestling. Anybody have footage of that?
Yeah.
She and she wasn't a good talker either, by the way. She just had that kind of sexy, kind of sneaky, shady look. She was a look, really, and she was an attitude. I mean, she gets lost in the mix. You got to admit, Mish, when they talk about divas and women in the business, she really gets lost. And not even because, obviously, she was tragically murdered, but she was around for a long, long time and was in every major company.
Absolutely.
Except for WWE. She never had a run in WWE, even though I know at one point they attempted to hire her back in the 80s.
Right.
But there's an example of someone who never worked a match. I mean, even Missy Hyatt got in the ring and wrestled when she was with John Tatum and stuff. I never remember Fallen Angel or Nancy or whatever woman, Robin Green, ever being in the ring.
Right.
So she got away with never having to do anything other than just be the snarly, sexy eye candy.
Yeah,
I know what you're going to say, but that was a different time. But I'm just saying it can be done.
No, it can be done, and even in current days, even today, Joey, we have Lana. And Lana is a perfect example of a valet who can talk.
But Lana is inevitably going to get in the ring, don't you think so?
I don't know. I mean, if she's such a good talker and stuff like that, and people enjoy her as the eye candy, and she's got the attitude going. I mean, obviously, I think Rusev will be gone. I think Rusev will be gone before Lana will, and I'm hoping that they would use Lana as almost like a way to start up a new stable or start up a new tag team. You know what I mean? Like her services could be given out. I think that Lana has a lot more to offer as a valet, especially in 2015.
Well, I don't know that much about Lana's background other than I saw the naked pictures Don Tony posted that time, which, by the way, they were quite good.
Yeah, it's got nice hits.
What is her background? Does she have any kind of athletic background? Is she an actress? Obviously, she was a model.
She was like a
but
backup.
Does she have any sports athletics or anything in her background?
Not really. I mean, she had some backup dancing done for like Belle Biv DeVoe or some shit, but other than
Dude,
modeling,
I tell you, she convinced me. I thought she was Russian. I was surprised to hear that she was. Was she Portuguese or? She's definitely not Russian.
She's from like Nashville.
Not even close.
She's from Nashville.
What's that?
She's from Nashville.
What's her real name?
Oh, I forgot off the top of my
Chat
head.
room.
Yeah, chat room. Give me.
Yeah, what's her real name? Because, but she's also around only a couple of years. I mean, you're talking about Nancy Sullivan, 20-year career.
Catherine Joy Perry.
That's her real name?
That's her real name, yeah.
I could have sworn someone had said that she was Portuguese.
Oh, she was born in Florida. Sorry, that was my bad. She was born in Florida.
Born in Florida?
But she lives in Nashville.
Wow, and she is not a bad actress because she had me believing she was Russian.
Yeah, no, she's definitely a country type girl, blonde hair, blue eyes. I mean, it made sense. I mean, obviously, I can see the Russian thing going on. She might even actually have Russian parents. I don't know, but
it could be. I mean, but I think I just would have thought that eventually you're going to see her debut in the ring.
Yeah, I hope not. I mean, seriously, as far as her career goes, I hope they keep her as a talker. She's gorgeous to look at. And she doesn't have to wrestle. That's the nice thing about her, is she doesn't have to wrestle in order to validate herself. When you look at girls like Cameron, they have to wrestle in order to validate themselves. They have to do something more with themselves because they're not good enough to stand on their own just by their charisma alone. Eva Marie, that's where the confusion comes in because she looks great on the camera. She's this gorgeous fucking girl.
She's a good-looking woman. I always said she's a very good-looking woman. When she opens her mouth, it's just done. Someone's writing me as I'm online here and someone's sending me private emails saying, Back in the day, there were people like Precious, Jimmy Garvin's wife, who did not wrestle. Sunshine. Okay. Actually, it's not true. Sunshine wrestled a bunch of times in World Class. But Precious, Jimmy Garvin's valet, who was his wife at the time, traveled from territory to territory, never wrestled a match. That's true. There was, women's not. I'm not saying woman's the only one who was never. But Nancy Sullivan had more of a national landscape than Precious did. Jimmy Garvin was never in ECW or the WWE or had that kind of exposure that Nancy had. I just think Nancy was a bigger character than Precious was.
Sure.
She was one-dimensional. She was just with Jimmy Garvin. Nancy was with Ric Flair, Kevin Sullivan, Chris Benoit, associated with Paul Heyman. She had a lot of TV time. Look, there's all different examples. There's all different examples. But Sherry was a valet who was a great wrestler who happened to be able to. She was the best combo of both, I think, of all time, is Sherry Martel, obviously.
Actually, Boom Chocolate sent me something. Thank you very much there, Boom. Woman did have a couple of matches.
I never recall her. Where did she wrestle? I never seen that. I can honestly say that's a shock to me.
ECW on December 10th, 94, and on May 14th, 94, they were both Sandman and Woman versus Peaches and Dreamer. And the other one was
but they were gimmicky matches.
Sure,
they weren't her wrestling a woman, wrestling as a woman wrestler.
Right.
They were gimmicks.
Right. Yeah.
And of course it was in ECW. It wasn't in the NWA or with WCW. She never wrestled.
Right.
Yeah, that's. I guess it's the same. That's kind of like it's kind of like one of those kind of I'll give it that, but. It was gimmicky shit.
Right.
You know what
Obviously,
I'm sure she was in the match for 30 seconds.
Right. That whole match is being carried by Tommy Dreamer and Sandman.
Exactly. It's not the same, Boom Chocolate. But I appreciate you researching it because I don't recall her ever working. But it figures it was at ECW in a gimmicky match.
Yeah.
But as far as like putting her in the ring, going against a woman, Wendy Rector or Misty Blue Sims or something, she never worked.
No.
She never wrestled. And in Florida, there was a bunch of women wrestlers. Luna, once again, valet and a lady wrestler. Sherry, valet and lady wrestler. Medusa, valet and lady wrestler.
Right.
They all did that.
Yeah.
But some of them didn't have to do that.
No, and I think that's kind of what made those girls special. That's why I don't know. And where do you think? Do you think that WWE?
Someone just said Elizabeth.
Yeah, well,
that's true. But didn't you have the one match in WCW? Eric Bischoff forced her to wrestle. Don't you remember that?
Yeah, something with the NWO.
I don't even count that because that was just so. Yeah.
Right.
But that's another one. And what do they all have in common? True, they were married to wrestling stars. That is true.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, we're talking a lot about the women wrestling tonight.
Well, it's
This shows you how bad Raw was.